Republicans' numbers are going up when it comes to the economy, which was a shocker, you could see there, to the CNN team. But they thought it would go down because of the tariffs, and all the coverage of Trump on the economy so far has been negative, saying he doesn't know what he's doing and why isn't he fighting prices. Meanwhile, inflation's down. I think it's 2.3% now. In any event, what do you make of the turn in fortunes for him? We talked about in the first hour, Trafalgar now has him up 8 percentage points in his approval rating to a net of 54%, which he's never hit before.
Well, to me, it's an indictment against the Democratic Party. And I think that a lot of times people are looking at me, Megyn, and they're saying, well, you know what, he's just attacking Democrats or what have you. And I said, it's not just that simple. And I'm going to tell you this, Megyn, and I've never had this conversation with you before, but I think that what people don't realize is that as a black man, you do find yourself getting offended at what we've seen from the Democratic Party. So since 1964, since you had Civil Rights Act and then ultimately the Voting Rights Act and then, the Fair Housing in 1968 and stuff like that, we heard quotes supposedly, purportedly from Lyndon B. Johnson at the time that, we passed this in the law, we'll have the Negroes voting for us for the next 200 years. Well, it's been over 50, over 60 actually, and for the most part, they've been right. And so I've often said this, because we've been so transparent in our support for the Democratic Party, there's a reason why the black community, by and large, has been considered disenfranchised. Because on one hand, we have a party that takes us for granted because they know they're going to get our vote and they never really had to cater to us. And on the other side, we've alienated a party who, by the way, played a role in pushing civil rights and voting rights legislation in the law in the 60s. And we basically said to hell with you. So as a result, they turned around and said, we're not going to have their support anyway. So you have one party taking us for granted. You have another party assuming they'll never get our support, and we get no representation. What I like about what's transpiring right now with Trump's ascension or return to the White House, what I do like about what has transpired is that it's put the Democratic Party in a position where you no longer get to take us or various communities for granted. You got to go out there and earn our vote.